What is going on, guys? Today I wanted to do a little online versus commentary on NHL 25, talking about this man right here, Alexander Ovechkin, and the Washington Capitals. He is currently sitting 13 goals away from, I believe, now breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of just, I guess, a career retrospective a little bit, and which is insane, but also whether or not can he break the record this year. I think yeah. I mean, I think he's proven that he if his three goals against Edmonton don't prove that that guy wants to do it this season, I don't know what will. I it's unbelievable to see kind of how he resurrected his career, and to be this close to Gretzky is just insane. Because for context, I've been watching Ovechkin his whole career. I started playing and watching hockey in 2005, and I believe that was, yeah, he came in 05 06. That was his first year in the league, and he scores, I think he scored 52 his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. But to see him still scoring at this rate 20 years later, it's like I never in a million years would have imagined that this is where his career was going to end up. And I was younger, just watching him play, and it's like you don't realize like what you're watching until you get older and you start to see like the special players just doing it over and over and over again. And he I like nothing but respect for the guy. It's sometimes, we all know what he's chasing. We all know it's Gretzky. He's a great one. But sometimes, like, I feel like people don't really understand what it's like. Because, there's a lot of new hockey fans that maybe didn't see Ovechkin's first 10 years in the league, and they maybe just got into the sport, and, you just kind of started, you know, seeing him play. And like to actually have witnessed this whole career and to see I've seen him score, and also again, like I was saying before, like to have seen him fall to where he fell to. Because I mean, there was a point in the early 2010s where he's getting, I mean, Washington's going through coach after coach after Boudreaux, and he's having issues. I think he had issues with Dale Hunter. He had issues with who was the other guy they had there? Dale Hunter, I know there were problems, but it's a whole ordeal. Where do you put Ovechkin? Can you win with Ovechkin? Is he, you know, is he the type of player you want on your team? Because Crosby goes and wins his cup with Pittsburgh, and then the pressure just mounts. It mounts even more on Ovi, and it's just he went through so much, and he managed to overcome all of that, even though he definitely did have some down years in what should have been the prime of his career. Not now, because I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I still think his early years were something, ridiculous, and that was probably, his prime. But listen, at the rate he's scoring right now, it's crazy. But you could say that this is as prime of his career, the same prime of his career as it was back then, which is absolutely insane. And I think it makes you appreciate even more how good of a player that he is. But yeah, to have overcome all that and to see him where he is now, uh, it's crazy. I mean, I think he's gonna break it this season. I don't think he's waiting till next year. I think with the way Washington's playing, with the way they're looking, everything, I think he can absolutely catch and pass Gretzky this year, which is insane. Because even, I mean, even last season, he starts off so slow. I mean, I think he had what, 5 or 6 goals come, was it December or January? And everybody's questioning. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's it. The game passed him by, and maybe he's not gonna pass Gretzky." And then the guy just goes on an absolute monster tear, scores at a ridiculous rate. Washington makes the playoffs. Granted, they get bounced in the first round, but they weren't really a great team. But he doesn't have the best playoff either. And then the questions come again in the playoffs. And this is something that Ovechkin has dealt with his entire career. Like his entire career, this guy has been doubted, questioned, just and listen, it comes with the territory, right? When you're a star player, you're gonna get questioned. You're gonna get people that doubt you. You're gonna get people that just think you're overrated or think you're one dimensional. And the true greats of the sport, they find a way to just consistently silence the doubters and the naysayers and all that, right? They keep finding ways to overcome. And he's just been one of those guys. He's just year in, year out. He just finds you. Because, listen, after that playoff, he could have. I didn't know what Ovechkin we were going to get this year. I always thought he was going to break the record. But, yeah, that playoff was bad. I don't think he had any points. Granted, again, Washington was not anywhere near as good as they are right now. Last year, it wasn't even close. But yeah, I didn't know, what version of him or the Caps we were going to get this year. And what does he do? He comes into the season ready to go, starts on a great tear, gets the biggest injury of his career, right? I don't think he's ever missed more time than he did with his injury this year. And again, the questions come in. How is he going to rebound? Because he's scoring at this ridiculous rate at the start of the year. And he's scoring at this ridiculous rate at the start of the year and gets that really serious injury, which to mortal human beings would have been pretty devastating. The guy recovers, I think, quicker than anybody would have thought. He's 39, to recover as quickly as he did, and then just come right back in the lineup and just start scoring again. It's like, it's one thing like when you say it, like he keeps doing it, but then when you're watching it and seeing it, like I get excited. Like every time I see him score, I'm not a Washington fan. I'm a Ranger fan, but seeing him do what he's been doing, it's just you can't not root for it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to see how consistent this guy is and how he just keeps picking himself up, and he just keeps finding ways to be great and ways to score goals in a league that it's extremely hard to score goals in. And he does it effortlessly. Like, it looks effortlessly. Just seeing his goals against Edmonton yesterday, seeing the shots he's taking. That first goal, he just rushes in, snipes it. The second one is from his, patented spot, just rips it. It's like everyone knows the way this guy scores goals, and it's not just from his spot. He also, his first goal was a goal that we've seen a lot of times from him. Flies in, rips it, just right through the goalie, just perfect shot. He's done this time and time again, and he's done it almost 900 times now in the National Hockey League. It's crazy. It's been crazy to watch, and I, I don't know if we're ever gonna see something like this again. It's insane. It's insane, and I never would have thought that. When he first comes into the league, you don't realize because there's been so many talented players that have come and gone in the NHL. And you don't realize, which ones are going to be those ones that really stand the test of time, over the course of an entire career. We've had so many talented scorers, but players maybe, only have a couple seasons, couple of great seasons, and then they get hurt or they just don't play the same way anymore. For whatever reason, you've seen talent, super talented. To be in that league, you have to be the best of the best, and we've had a lot of them. But to do it consistently, year in, year out, it's crazy. It really is crazy to see. And he's defied all logic. He's defied the test of time, and I really don't think we're ever gonna see somebody like him again. And it's crazy because, I mean, granted, did we ever think we were gonna get an Ovechkin? Probably not. I mean, probably after Gretzky breaks that record, I'm pretty sure people that were watching Gretzky back, in the 80s and 90s were thinking, man, nobody's ever gonna come close to this. But I mean, that's just how I feel about Ovi. I don't think anybody in the game today, Matthews included, because there's gonna be people that argue Matthews, but I don't see Matthew. To me, Matthews, he's an elite talent. He's gonna score a lot of goals. He'll score 500, 600 probably. But the way that he plays the game, I don't know if that lasts 20 years. I just, at least at that rate that Ovechkin has, the way that Ovechkin has scored, I don't see Matthews or anybody in the league right now being able to do that as consistently as Ovi has. Because that guy, his shot has just stood the test of time. And he's found a way to just, because if you look at Matthews, the way Matthews scores goals, a lot of his goals are because, yeah, he's a really fast and talented player right now, and he's you inevitably will lose a step over time. It's the way hockey is. You're not going to be as fast in your late 30s as you were in your early mid 20s. Will Matthews be able to adapt like Ovi did? Because Ovi's not scoring those, flying down the wing, cutting in. I mean, he's still got that shot. Like I said before, that goal he scored, I mean, it's a great shot, and he's beaten goalies with a great shot. But it used to be very reliant on his speed and his ability to do things at such a fast pace that other guys couldn't keep up with. Whereas now, it's mostly he's picking his opportunities. He's finding ways to just kind of take advantage of his biggest strength at this point in his career, and that's his shot. Right, his shot is his biggest strength. So he keeps using. He keeps falling back on that shot, and I don't see anybody else doing something like that at for that long, for to get to that many goals. And then, another thing you got to keep in mind is once Ovi breaks the record, which again, it's just a matter of, when's he going to do it. I think it's going to be this year. I'll die on that hill. I think he will break the record this year. But when he does it, how far past it does he go? How much longer does he keep playing? Does he want to keep playing? Does he want to get to 1,000 goals? I think 1,000's crazy. I don't know if he gets there because, that's a lot of goals. That's another 100 goals that he has to score. But if he wants to go another 2-3 years, yeah, maybe. Can he? Yeah. I mean, there's been guys that play pretty, into their it's rare, but those elite talents. I mean, Yager played in the NHL till what, 40? Oh man, I know he played into his 40s. I don't know exactly how long into his 40s Yager played, but Yager kept going. And if Ovi wants it, he can definitely do it. Question is, does he want to stay in the NHL? Does he want to go back to Russia? That's a whole nother topic for discussion for another day. But if he stays, yeah, he probably could. He probably could get, I mean, at least 950. And then, again, to get, I mean, 950, that's, that adds a whole nother, I mean, the 894 seemed insurmountable. 950, even if he gets there, forget 1,000. I mean, 950, that's a lot of freaking goals for somebody to pass. And I just don't know if we ever see that again. I really don't. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Whether you think, do you think he passes it this year? Do you think it's next season? And if and when he does pass it, which again, I think it's pretty much a lock at this point. I don't, barring anything crazy, I think he gets it done. But do you think he keeps going? Does he keep playing? Is it kind of dependent on how Washington does? Does Washington win? Does Washington win another cup with him? And if they do win another cup, does he just say, all right, that's it for me. I did my part. I'm good. And I'll just ride off into the sunset now. Or does he want to try for another one? Does he want to try to tie Crosby? Because Crosby's got 3 cups. He's only got one. And those two guys have been, tied at the hip for a long time. There's always been debate over which one's better. If Ovi gets another cup and potentially, I mean, this it's really hard to repeat in this day and age, but if he gets one this year, does he stick around and say, "Hey, I want to try to go for 3"? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, these are. I personally don't think, I mean, this is a little bit. I mean, it's not off topic because it's still Washington, but I don't know if Washington. I don't know if I believe in Washington this year. I know that they have the mojo and they've been very. Oh wow, that guy. What, he left? What just happened? Well, that's strange. But that's so weird. It said the guy disconnect. Oh, okay. Oh, we got the win. That was so weird. Like, my sound went out. I've never seen that before. We'll take the win. I don't know why the guy left. It's a 1-1 game. That's strange. But I'd be curious to see what you guys think on whether or not, where things end for Washington. I don't really think Washington's gonna go far. It seems they seem too close to where they were last year. Man, I wanted to go and replay and show you guys some of the goals, but, well, the only goal that I scored, but I guess I can't. I'm not buying the Washington Kool-Aid this year, but we'll see. Maybe, again, I'm one of the doubters. Maybe Ovechkin silences me and he does great in the playoffs and they do win a cup. Maybe, but history says that when they're at the top of the league, they usually don't win the cup. So we'll see if they change things this time around. But be curious to see what you guys think. Let me know what you think about Ovechkin, and will he break the record this year or will it be next year? And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.